Hi, my name is Michael G, and have another video. And this video is based on what's coming. And not sure if you've seen some of my older videos, but a lot of my older videos, I'm always talking about we're in the time where the feminine energy is rising. Okay? So, first was the masculine, which was before the before the computers, and once the computers came on the scene, it came to quantum, and now the feminine energy is everywhere. It's actually worldwide, and especially in all the Western nations, they're trying to impose this feminine energy or feminine ideology, matriarchy, feminist movement, whatever you want to call it, on other nations. If you look at Russia right now, Russia's a masculine. Russia's like, we're not going to let you do it. We're not going to let you do globalization. But that's another story. But what's going to follow after the feminine is the coming theocracy, is the reign of truth. You see, when we have the masculine, which is the male energy, and then we have the feminine energy, which is the female. Right now, if you look at it, there's a tide rising. And water, like the flood of Noah's day, water will fill any cavity. That's how water is. And water will give a straight line, as long as there's no vibrations or anything. Right? When you have land, okay, land, that's masculine. The masculine part of the body, or the head part of the body, compared to the feminine part of the body is like 1/3, and your head is about 1/3 the size of your torso. So there's 3 times more water in the world than there is land. When the water rises, or when feminine energy rises, the feminine wants to bring the head down. The Asian culture is the nail that's sticking up is, hammered down with a hammer. The nail that's sticking up is hammered down. That's feminine energy. They're the ones that also do the yin and yang, where there's balance. There's good and evil, and evil and good. This is why we have so many computer games. It is feminine energy. It is a lie in that it's not reality. You're looking at a screen that's not really anything. And that's really how feminine energy is holding you down. That's why the men today, they got, very thin necks, like pencil necks. They got baby arms. Baby arms. They're losing their mobility as a man. And then the women now are becoming, they're kind of becoming more attractive, but they're also, because the women are leaving their estate, they're also losing their value. Women have lost their value, and that's a byproduct of the feminist movement, and the feminine is everywhere. It's like they're everywhere now, and it is what promotes the hookup culture. Hookup culture. So, what's happening? If you look at the Democratic Party or Republican Party everywhere in the world right now, pretty much everywhere. If you go to Europe, Germany, France, they're all lying to their people. They're all trying to virtue signal, which is something that women do. They kind of like rally together for a cause. Like when you're going out with a woman, you're really not just going out with that woman. If younger guy, you're going out with her and the committee of friends that she speaks to, the committee of headless women that are giving the worst advice. If you're a guy and you're going out and you see like a bunch of women, okay? I'm just putting their heads in here, so there's a bunch of women, and you see one that you're attracted to, and she's attracted to you too. The committee, if the committee doesn't like you, she will have to stay with the committee the feministas, and no relationship. And that's what they do. So they judge you on stupid, dumb stuff. Dumb stuff. Now you can say this is the world today. They're judging on stupid, dumb stuff. They're judging nations. They're virtue signaling on how do you treat LGBTQ. They tried to do that with Kenya or one of the African countries, and the guy says we got bigger problems than that. That's not our problem. They tried to do it with Russia. Russia with that group named this Riot. You know, these women were disrespectful in the church. You can't do that in Russia. I'm sorry to tell you, you just can't. They'll lock you right up. They tried to go to Sochi in the Olympics, and they tried to like promote their message there, and the Cossacks came and started whipping them. It's a glorious video. I loved it because this is the United States was actually sending them money too. They brought them to the Barclay Center with Madonna Barclay, and they gave them some award. What the hell are you giving these people an award for? You know, because they wanted to try and create a problem within Russia. This is what's promoted. This feminine energy. We have to look out for the feminines. We have to protect all the feminines. Well, let me tell you something. Look at the world right now. Look at the world right now. Look at women today. A lot of women today with the hookup culture are straight up trash. Straight up trash. You know, I think the Generation X was the last generation of real women and men, and then the decline got worse and worse. And now the young girls now in the 1820s, they're going to college. They're just trash because they're bred to do this. They're bred to do this because the feminine energy is saying yes, you could do it. The feminine energy is rising. You see, this is the masculine. This is the feminine. Now look at the body now. Male, female. Who brings the food into the body? The masculine. Who doesn't know how that works? The feminine. That's why all the social programs and things want to take money from someplace else, from somebody who's a producer, and give it to someone that's not producing. Because they can't generate money. And the reason they can't generate money is because the feminine starts at the esophagus. The food is already placed here. What does the man have to do? He has to work. He has to go out and get the money and make it. And when the women become masculine, like I said, this part of the body is dead. For the woman, if she's going to become more masculine, she's either going to make her head super large where the womb dies and she can't have children, or she has to flood herself with different guys, okay? Tyrone and Chad, Tyrone, and by filling herself up, it's like the head now becomes like a bobble on the water. That's how the head is going to be. It kind of pushes the head up because of all the liquids that she filled up her body. This is an energetic on how this works. Energetically how this works. It's trash. It's not going to work. The masculine had tried. The masculine failed because men failed women. They allowed the women to get out of control. They allowed the feminist movement. Now, first wave feminism, I don't have a problem with that. It's third wave feminism. Now, the woke BS feminism. And look what's happening with the woke BS. We have all the LGBTQ, blah, 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 blah. Why do you have so many when it comes to the feminine? Why is this the case? Because it's like water. It has no form. They have no heads. The female energy has no head. She doesn't have a head. So for her to say, oh, they can choose whatever they want, they can make any identity they want, is part of the distortion when you let the feminine control. Now, what's going to come up is, you see, if you watch my videos from years ago, I said first you have the masculine, and that lasts a long time. Now we're in the feminine. But once the feminine is really about to wreck everything, the spirit comes out. And the spirit is going to be the spirit of truth. So what is it doing? How is the spirit of truth working on women today? Well, let me tell you. If you notice the woman, she, today, modern hookup woman, we're going to talk about the one that, the Chad chaser, Chad chasing woman, okay? She has tattoos, red flag number 1. She has the big eyes. Remember the eyes I said the other day? You know, oversized eyes, makeup, red flag number 2. Okay? She has a cell phone in her hand, red flag number 3. She, oh my goodness, I forgot my list too. So, every one of these visible red flags, you know, flighty, okay? She what do you, ghosts you, okay? All right? It's becoming visible because the spirit inside now is forcing her to reveal to us who she is. You got to understand this. And this goes the same thing with the men. This goes the same thing with the men. You can see the flags now. Now, why is that important? Because in the garden, there's the tares and the wheat, or the darnel. When you're close to the end of the harvest, it turns black. We're at the end of the harvest. When you look at the woman, it parallels society. Just get that. Because remember the hierarchy? God, the Father, Jesus, man, woman. Okay? So, the woman relationship to man is the same as man to Jesus and God. So, if you look at the woman now with all these red flags, it's the same as how the society is as a whole, because we're supposed to be, you know, holding up to the truth. The reign of God is the reign of truth. So this is the coming theocracy. This is the coming theocracy. This is what's going to happen. So, if you're a man, you better start telling the truth. You better start holding up the truth. And let me tell you, the truth to hold it up is not always easy. I've been making these videos for almost 10 years now. 10 years. And just recently, something switched off in me and saying, oh, I got to make more of them now. Now I'm going to flood this place with videos. And literally, I can make 4 to 10 videos a day, every day for 10 years. That's how many topics that are just rolling around on my desk. Okay? This is the time where if you're gonna hold up truth, you're gonna have to pay. You might have to lose something. You know? You're gonna have to lose something. Because before, the hooks of the devil is to put you in a position where you lie. That's why when you're a guy, this woman who outwardly looks like she's hot with the red flags, you see those red flags. It's kind of hard to miss the red flags, you know? The ones that I spoke about, these women, you see them. But if you're going to close your eyes just because she's your ideal, you're going to get busted up. And now is the time when the busting up is going to happen much more than ever before. I promise you this. Promise you. Because if you could see the red flags this bad on this hookup, look at their TikTok videos. These women are trying to bag the rich guy. They can get as much liposuction, plastic surgery, as much as they want. And then they make these damn TikTok videos. Any serious guy would not want these women. And again, the woman is the parallel for mankind. The feminine energy is rising, and feminine programs, the demasculization of men, is rising with that. So for us to put a stop to this, we have to control these women. And how you could, not these women, all women. And I'm not saying lock them up or anything crazy like that or like that. My thing is that if they're doing a behavior and you want to get into a relationship with them or you know them, you got to tell them the truth. You look like a clown with all that tattoos on you. You look like a fool with that shit on your face. You got to say it just like that. And this way, you take the power of the masculine and you get rid of simping and enabling. Because you see, just like in a narcissist, the enabler is always left holding the bag. The enabler is always, because the enabler, this is the enabler. The enabler carries the sin of the lies. Okay? When you're dealing with the psychopath, when the psychopath is dealing with you, you know that you're selling your soul to deal with this narcissist or psychopath. And as you take in their sin, they get higher, and you are responsible for them leaving their bodies. The enabler is responsible for separating the head from the body of the narcissist. The only way you can bring that head back down to earth is truth. The only way you can bring back the woman back to earth is the truth. The woman that had spoken about Mary in the last video, she was a harlot or Chad chaser. What was she doing? She was cleaning the feet of truth with her hair and tears and ointment. Scrubbing the feet. You have to bring the head down. The head has to come down. If you don't bring the head down, at least don't participate in raising it up. This is really important, because this coming theocracy now is going to kind of reveal things like has never been revealed before. This coming theocracy is going to make truth more important. You're going to see people going to jail like you've never seen before. You're going to see, look what's happening with Russia. With Russia, when is Europe going to allow their leaders to give them no heat, no gas, to virtue signaling for Ukraine? Ukraine is not even a sovereign nation. It lost its sovereignty in 2014. They put an actor there. An actor's leading the country. They were looking for an actor. And Zelensky said, I'll do it. So for this lie, you can't take a shower. You can't have heat in your home if you live in England. In the United States, too, we might run out of diesel. You see, the environment that the feminine cannot sustain. Because you see, when the feminine has, what the feminine is doing here is that if it's cut off from the head, if you don't bring in food into the body starts eating itself. They're going to eat themselves, and that's what's going to happen. That's what's going to happen. And then somebody's just going to get up and say, why aren't we getting gas from Russia? I just don't understand. When enough people stand up and say, this is stupid. This is stupid. We don't need NATO. We just need to keep buying gas from Russia. Russia's not going to attack the customer. Just think about that. Russia would never attack its paying customer, but the feminine has to make up this BS lie so that they can maintain their democratic feminine ideology. So why has this happened? Why has this happened all of a sudden? Because we are using quantum. Computers work on quantum, not quantum computers. They work on quantum physics. Okay, so let's not get mistake here. Computers operate on quantum. Everybody now spends a good portion of their time either in front of their computer, laptop, or in front of their phone. Okay? Everybody is spending so much time. Their eyeballs are fixated on this. And what did the Bible say? The idols, they keep on looking at this all the time. All the eyeballs are on this all the time. Okay, this breeds feminine. The universities, the schools, they have one teacher, and then you have all the pupils. And this education breeds the hierarchy where everybody listens to the authority. And they don't have no personal identity, no identity. Now, let me tell you, again, if you look at my older videos about this, it'll also make more sense. The Truth of Everything video. If anybody can remember, over 10 years ago, when you sent a message, email, or you get a letter back, it has a name of somebody. And then slowly, it started saying from our team. So everybody's a team. Everybody is a committee. A committee. All right? So it is so crazy how this is crept up in our society. This no identity. And let me tell you, God's going to bust this up. Because we're made in the image of God. Male and female. We have a masculine and a feminine. In our own bodies, we have a male, and a female. And the male is taller. I'll just put these in so you know. The male is taller. The woman is supposed to lose her last name. But now, because of this computer, because of social, 50 years ago or 100 years ago, everybody would thought that we'd be in the stars. That's where everybody thought we would be. We'd be in space. They thought we'd be more in the masculine. But if you told everybody that you could talk to everybody on Earth, they'd say, no, that's impossible. I heard this. I don't know who said it. Maybe Elon Musk said it. So why is it that we're talking to everybody? Because people can't go to the masculine, to God. They can't go to God in the state that we're in. So what do? They're stuck now on Earth, and they're building in more feminine. This feminine energy is everywhere. I mean, you guys know. You could see. And the feminine, they call it Mother Earth, right? Did you ever see the Animal Kingdom? Animal Kingdom's pretty rough, right? Yeah, only one guy gets all the primate, all the female, I don't know, whatever you want. Chimps, male chimp is the leader, and then the rest of the chimps get nothing. Yeah, we're getting like that now. The Chad guys are getting all the women, and then the rest of the women, they don't want nothing to do with the men. We cannot have a society where this works, and this is a feminized society that does this. Feminized. This is where we're at right now. This theocracy is going to come. So, for us to be ahead or part of the theocracy, we have to already be speaking truth. And that's what the whole business is about Jesus. The whole business about Jesus is the truth and the light. And somebody corrected me too. Is the light of life. Which again goes back to the truth. This is where we need to be. If you're a young guy, get in the truth. Don't play games on women. Don't run game on women. If you're a woman, stay in the truth. If you're in a relationship with somebody, once the lying starts, start taking it off. Because let me tell you, there's always red flags. There are red flags with women, and there are red flags with men. If you're a woman and you see a guy, if he's, you know, if he doesn't care about what's going on, if he doesn't care what's going on with you, other than if he doesn't care to know anything about you, then you're enabling that relationship. He's going to get sex off of you. You got a nice little hookup going. You might feel good because you're with Chad, and he is gone. And you let him get away with that. You let him get away with that. Women, you're responsible. You're the gatekeepers of sex. Men are the gatekeepers of relationships. Now, the gatekeepers of sex, they're no longer protecting the value. And the reason the women are not protecting the value is because they left their estate. They want to be the masculine. That's why when you see a woman trying to be masculine, it's an abomination. And what does God do? He makes sure a lot of things. One, they become very visible, that they're this abomination. And he makes it so that they'll have a lot of cats. When they get older, in their 40s, 50s, 60s, they'll have cats. They're not going to have a man. Yeah. And the men become involuntary, they become incels. They become part of MGTOW because what are they going to do? What are they going to do? You know, they can't rise above a man. They can't. Okay, look, I got only a few minutes. Now, the MGTOW energy starts off like this because the mothers didn't provide the environment for the son to become a man, because from 3 years old to 5 years old, no, from 1.5 to 3 years old, they didn't promote the head to go up, the mother. When the son turns 3, she has to treat him like a little man. Like she's got to be his first girlfriend. If the mother mothers the child after 3, the head stays down. Then this guy gets into a relationship with a woman, and the woman gets angry with this guy. Okay? Cheats on him or whatever. This guy now starts to boil. She cheats on him. She leaves. He boils. And what happens? He launches his head. The head launches. And now this guy is the red pill. Pay attention. This guy just became the red pill. He left his body, and then he judges the women, and he can't come back to his own body to have the relationship with the woman. You know, MGTOW became MGTOW because a byproduct of the feminist movement. But we have to do better as men. We have to judge ourselves as well. We have to really evaluate our lives, because guys don't understand that when you use enabling in the relationship, you are taking the position of the feminine. All this is going to be wiped out in the coming theocracy. All this. And God's going to give you what you want. This red pill is not going to have any body. The woman now, she's not going to be able to, she has red flags all over herself, and she'll have plenty of cats. So the only people that are going to be are the ones that are in their body, that they can have a relationship with a woman, and there's no crazy drama, because again, they're in truth. And this is let us make man in our image, male and female. A warning to the feminists, a warning to MGTOW, that is not going to be a happy place. So get yourselves in truth. Know that you are part of the problem as well. You can't blame the women. You can't blame the men. This is where we're at. The coming theocracy will straighten this all out. It might not be pleasant, and people are not going to like it, but can already see it is brewing, can already see it's working, can already see, because you could see the tears, you could see the problems. I have older videos too, 5 years old, for MGTOW, the body shape of the feminine, the different types of women. Boss babe, maybe you'd like to see them. God bless.